Hey, all you freaks and geeks out there in podcast land. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Greenbelt Botanicals. Not only is Greenbelt Botanicals the OG sponsor of the Doctor's Orders podcast with the 512 Foot Doctor, but they're also the most trustworthy and reputable CBD dispensary and retailer in the Austin area. And if you're not in the Austin area and you can't drop in physically to visit one of their multiple stores around the city of Austin, then be sure to hit them up at greenbeltbotanicals.com. Whether you're in store or hitting them up online, make sure you use that official Freaks and Geeks promo code at checkout to receive 15% off. And that code is all caps FOOTDR15. Hit them again, all caps FOOTDR15. And that code's going to get you 15% off your purchase in store or online on tinctures, on smokables, on their new Delta 8 strains and products. That's the future. On CBD dog treats, they got these new CBD infused tea leaves. They got it all. So you definitely want to check them out, Freaks and Geeks, at greenbeltbotanicals.com. And now, on to the show. Wednesday, December the 16th. Welcome, Freaks and Geeks, to another episode of the Doctor's Orders podcast with the 512 Foot Doctor. As always, I'm your host, the 512 Foot Doctor. If you're a returning freak or geek, thank you very much for checking in to our weekly scheduled appointment. If you're a new listener to the podcast, welcome, and I hope you enjoy this new chapter of your life as a freak or geek. Here it is, Freaks and Geeks. This is episode number 15 of the podcast. We're going strong. We're transitioning. We're in the midway point of volume 2 of the Doctor's Orders podcast with the 512 Foot Doctor, and that consists of episodes number 11 through 20. All right, we're going to shift into something new in Volume 3. I'm not going to allude to what it is just yet, but it is there is a similar theme, not necessarily art, but there is a structured theme to the next volume of the Doctor's Orders podcast with the 512 Foot Doctor. But today, we need to discuss and dive into episode number 15. Episode number 15 features someone that I learned about and was put onto this year, 2020. So I watch a live YouTube show every Monday night at 10:30, the Kill Tony podcast. All right. Now you've heard me talk about this time and time again. Tony Hinchcliffe, Brian Redband, this, that, and the third. But this comedian was featured, I believe, on 2 episodes of that podcast, of that of that weekly show that I watch, the YouTube, the Freaks and Geeks. The reason I talk about it so much is it's fucking amazing. It's out there. You need to get into the Kill Tony show, the Kill Tony podcast on YouTube if you haven't, because he's also the future of comedy, all right? And if you didn't know, if you've been under a fucking rock lately, not only is he the future of fucking comedy, not only is he the fucking golden pony, but he's a new resident of Austin, Texas. So don't get it fucking misunderstood while we're talking about fucking this guy for at least more than once. All right. So check him the fuck out. We got some stories. Now this guest that we have on today has, like I said, been featured in 2, at least that I am aware of this year, in 2 episodes of the Kill Tony show. Extremely talented individual. He's out there on the West Coast. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about his life in Kentucky, growing up in the Cincinnati area, doing sets and stuff like that. We're going to just talk life stories, and we're going to get into a solid chat with the 512 Foot Doctor and our guest for episode number 15 of the podcast, comedian Dave Waite. Here we go. All right, Freaks and Geeks. Well, this is episode number 15 of the Doctor's Orders podcast with the 512 Foot Doctor. And we have the tremendous just opportunity to have someone far out of state come in and touch down with us. We are doing a live little Zoom show right now. So without further ado, I want to introduce my guest. He's a funny man, hell of a funny man. He's been on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, done a little set out there. He currently resides out in LA doing a shitload of funny stuff out there. But without further ado, I want to introduce Dave Waite. What's going on, bud? How you doing?
Hey, man. Good to see you. Nice to meet you.
No, likewise. So how are you? What's going on?
Man, well, just getting the second lockdown here in LA. I mean, it hasn't, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I mean, I guess I haven't really done a ton of stuff. So I don't know. It hasn't really changed my life that much. It just kind of, more, I was like maybe every once in a while, like meeting up with friends in the park and stuff like that. But now I'm even kind of hesitant on that,
Yeah, I know, man. I've seen another shift out there out west, shifting back into some stuff. We're out here in Texas in the studio at Life or Death coming at you. So we're trying to hold it in some form of sanity out here, but still stuff's looking shitty and looking trying to.
Do they take it serious there in Austin?
They take it yes and no. You get a lot of these like a lot of this shit right here. Excuse me, I'm covering my mouth, but a lot of like under the nose with the mask and stuff like that. They essentially come off as soon as you leave any establishment. People are taking it seriously, but you get out into the hill country and out into the rural areas, it's Thunderdome out there. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, it's fucked up.
I know. Hopefully we get back to some form of fucking what we used to have. But I want to break you in on our first segment here. This is for the Freaks and Geeks. They know it, but I want to put you on it. This is the Heinz 57 Life Ketchup. Now, we're not sponsored officially, but this is the official sponsor of this segment. It's the Life Ketchup. So if you would, Dave, please, I already said, tell the Freaks and Geeks your name, where are you from, and what have you been doing? What's your occupation lately?
Well, I am a stand-up comedian. I live in Los Angeles. I haven't been doing much of stand-up comedy. I'm from Kentucky originally, but I went home over the summer for like 2 months, and my parents, they live right outside of Cincinnati in Kentucky. It's very close, and the comedy club there started doing shows in their parking lot. So I did. Oh,
that. Is that the home one? Is that Bananas?
Go Bananas, yeah.
Nice. So that's cool. The parking lot set.
Yeah, it was cool. And I felt comfortable being outside, and so I did that, and got in a hike. This is the year I finally got into hiking.
Oh shit, buddy! You used to have a bit about that. What was it? It's fucking. It's easier to drive than it is to hike up to the fucking thing.
Yeah. Well, when I first got out to LA, everybody's like, "You want to do a hike?" And I was like, "Man, I ain't doing no fucking hike," But there's not a lot of activities.
Yeah.
Doing it, so like hiking, I've been ripping some frisbee golf discs.
Nice.
Golfing, cool. Actually golfing, just going to the park.
You left-handed or right-handed for those golf clubs? What's up with that?
I'm right-handed.
All right, cool.
I write left-handed.
All right, a little ortho, I guess that's what they call that.
Yeah,
right, that's cool.
So yeah, getting outside. That's what's up. I never was an outside cat here.
Yeah. Are you you partaking in any you burning anything while you're out there? You dropping anything, little shrooms, little weed, little fucking LSD or anything like where you're throwing frisbees or hitting the mountain or the hiking?
I rarely smoke weed, and I've done like psychedelics in the past, but I haven't. Everybody's on social media all day nowadays because of this, and I see some people are getting like real ripped and drunk and going, but I probably went the opposite way where I haven't really got too fucked up at all. Just because I don't know, I like mixing it up with people and, having parties. And, my biggest fear is that, it would make me it'd make me depressed. So I've really just been on guard so I don't get all fucking bummed out and shit.
Do it. So let's see. I want to ask you this: in the last 48 hours, you done any sets or anything like that?
In the last 48 hours, I have definitely not done any sets.
Gotcha.
I mean, there in LA, there started being some like underground outside shows because they're not you're not really supposed to do any. But
is there fucking what's it called? A curfew right now?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
There was a couple weeks ago. I did like a show in a park, and then I did another show in like a courtyard, and there was starting to be some outside shows. And I did a couple of those. I mean, it's the least amount of stand-up I've done since I started. And
because what is this like? Was it year 16 for you?
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's definitely the least amount. I mean, over the summer when I started doing it more, I definitely felt pretty good on stage. I didn't feel like I feel like I actually, I don't know, gotten better because maybe I'd been, burned out because I'd been performing for so much that I felt looser on stage and was willing to take more risk. It was just fun again because I hadn't done it.
Hell yeah, you got it. You got to live for just a little bit. I hear you, man. I also got to say one thing. You had a birthday last month, right?
Well, yeah, man. You did your research.
I did. No, I don't want to come off as a freak or nothing like that. But you're a funny guy. I didn't want to come.
I appreciate that. The worst. The comedians always make fun of like morning radio people or TV people, but they don't do any research. They just like. They ask like the same boilerplate questions about how do you come up with your jokes or whatever.
Nah,
fuck that. Really do any.
Nah, fuck that.
So I do appreciate.
Yeah, no doubt. I did have one question about your Fallon set. So that was a couple of years back, right?
Yeah, that was like 8 years ago now, man.
Was that the first thing you did when you got to LA? Oh, well, no, when because he's out in New York, right?
Yeah, that happened when I was in New York.
Oh, okay. So that would have been was that the last thing you did before you came to LA?
Yeah, I mean that was the last thing I did before I came to LA. I did the Montreal Comedy Festival, Just for Laughs, which is like the biggest comedy festival. I did that like a month after the Fallon thing, and then was like, I'm gonna go to LA.
Damn, that's cool.
I had been on Comedy Central. The Comedy Central used to have a show called Live at Gotham, and I did that like maybe 2 years before the Fallon thing. So the Fallon thing wasn't the first time I was on television. But.
Nice. That's what's up. All right, so check this out. In the past 12 months, so the year's fucking closing down, but have you established any new hobbies or routines, appreciations or practices or anything like that? Any fucking thing to just make you better?
Might have blew my load with that whole talking about hiking thing there.
That's a good one. What if that is a new hobby? That is definitely a new hobby.
Yeah, I mean the All Trail. I downloaded the All Trails app. I recommend it.
Shit.
It's got all the trails. That's why they call it that.
It's not a plug.
I mean, the one thing is I'm like, looking forward to getting back on the road. So when I go to these cities and places again,
I'm
gonna go get a hike on.
Nice. That's what's up. Watch out those fucking snakes and scorpions and tarantulas and shit out there, then. Watch out for that.
Yeah, well, yeah, out here. Yeah, when I was back home in Kentucky, I mean, one time I went to this place. It was about 90 minutes away in Indiana called Clifty Falls, and it had waterfalls and shit. And I didn't know there was like waterfalls in Indiana. I mean, when you think Indiana, you think it's pretty basic, but it was really beautiful. And like I went there with one of my buddies and got to fucking see waterfalls. I'm just trying to appreciate the outside.
Yeah.
I feel like, for me with the outside is maybe, in the moment I feel it a little bit, but I feel like when I'm going to bed at night, it's a little bit easier to go to sleep or something.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Out with the nature and shit.
Yeah.
Whatever hippie garbage.
Being one with you or some shit like that.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, that's a good life catch up. I want to segue, move it along, move it forward, and let's get to this one. I write all these questions specifically for the guests, so I do try and do some research on everybody. And for on one spectrum, it is research, but for the most part, getting people on here, I've had some past. Some experience or some just I don't want to say connection, but just to allude again, I have seen you on one of the I think maybe two of the Kill Tony Monday night little things they've been doing out there at the store. But I want to get into Laugh It Up. I was listening to a lot of your stuff, and it's really, don't take this wrong, but it's negatively positive. What do you think about that? It's just funny. You bring out these, I don't want to say dark things, but you make them funny as shit, and you just pull at it. What do you think about that, man? That's one of the aspects I like about a lot of your material.
Oh, well, I never heard it described that way, but I mean, I think there's probably an element of truth to that. I mean, yeah, you would be maybe somebody like Brian Regan, whose comedy's all kind of positive or something like that, yeah. But most comedy has.
Well, I mean, like it. You bring out the negative, and you get some laughs from it, or like some fucking hardships or some shit like that. Some shit that's occurred in your past. It's like, oh well, that was fucked up. But yeah, no, it's the fucking y'all fucked up for on that, doing that to me. I don't know. That doesn't.
Oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? Well, yeah. I think all comedy has an element of tragedy to it. Yeah. If we can't laugh at our misfortunes, then then I think we'll have a pretty sad life. So I mean, I think, yeah.
So have you ever done any rooms in Texas?
Boy, I did the Capital City Comedy Club.
Nice, Cap City Comic Con. When'd you do that?
Boy, that was shit. That might have been 8, 10. Yeah. It might have been 10 years ago. I don't know. It was a long time ago.
And RIP to Cap City, man. They're those doors are closed. So they're in all honesty, but we really don't have it. That was the comedy club of,
it was the comedy club that, comics all across the country knew it. People wanted to play there. It was well regarded in the comedy community. I imagine once this is over, there'll probably be a new comedy club in Austin at some point.
Most likely. It was in a weird little spot though. It was kind of in like a little shopping mall. It wasn't in a mall, but it was in a strip, a strip, business strip. You know what I'm saying? But it's better than being in a mall, I feel.
Yeah, that was the one thing I was very surprised about, because people had talked about for years how cool Cap City was. And shit. And then I got there and I was like, all right. A lot of comedy clubs are in the suburbs, or weird spots. Go Bananas is in this weird complex, it's not part of the city.
Yeah.
But, Cincinnati's definitely a cooler city now than it was when I left 10 years ago. But like Austin was always a city that was billed as like cool. And then I got there and I'm like, well,
it's not that cool.
The comedy club is pretty far from where it's cool, obviously. The club is cool, but
the area was not. There was nothing fun about that. Did you know that was the old Laugh Stop? That was Hicks's old little stomping ground there.
I didn't know that. I knew he had something to do with Houston and all that.
Yeah. They had the Laugh Stop in Houston, and that was also a Laugh Stop. Same people. So he would fuck around in both of those spots.
I did the joke joint over there. Oh, my bad.
No, you're good. You're good. Okay, cool. I haven't ventured out to too much of a comedy and I've been to some stuff in Dallas, but I've really focused a lot and been to a lot of sets in Austin. So that's.
And then I did the Velveeta room.
Okay, downtown.
Yeah. That was pretty cool. I like that.
Did you bump into Matt Bearden by chance? You know that guy? He used to frequent there a lot.
Boy, I met that guy years and years ago.
Nice.
But I didn't meet him that time. And then the guy, Mario De DiGiorno.
Okay, I don't know that. I don't know.
He
I
was
don't know
like
him.
the bartender there. He did comedy. They designed T-shirts.
All right.
Yeah, but I had a good time when I did Austin. It was fun.
Badass, man. Man, I think they're doing the Moon Tower Comedy Festival this year, but we'll see how it goes. This whole like large spectrum comedy and large spectrum performance is really like it's extremely expensive. I'm hearing these and this is at the top of the spectrum. Forgive me for the name drop. The fucking Chappelles and the Rogans coming down here. It's like 3G's a table. Like it's fucking outrageous, but it's what's got to be done to make fucking bank for the venue, you know?
Yeah, I mean, guys like Joe Rogan and Dave Chappelle, I'm sure the majority of the money goes in their pocket anyways, you know?
Yeah.
I guess they're doing shows down there right now somewhere.
Yeah, they get them two are doing a little headline thing, a little duo set. I want to say the 8th through like the 13th. It's an outdoors thing, so it's at like an amphitheater, but it's all like what the fuck are they calling it? They're calling it like cabaret seating. Yeah.
I mean, it's probably set up kind of similar to the way Chappelle did it at his
The little outdoor thing.
Yeah, in Ohio.
Yeah.
I know. That was the thing when I was back in Cincinnati because it's not that far. You know, it's probably an hour and 10 minutes away from there.
Yeah.
Where Chappelle was doing the shows. A lot of people had the mask on, the Chappelle mask. That was the flex there, you know.
Yeah.
You know, because if you go to the show, they give you the Chappelle mask. You know, my sister and her husband, they went up there.
They saw that?
Yeah, they saw it early on in the summer, you know, before he started getting like all the real famous people to come in, you know.
Yeah.
Later in the summer, he was having all sorts of people. It was pretty wild.
That's cool.
His that field in Ohio was like the hot spot of comedy for the world or country, you know.
Yeah, at the time, yeah, it's. I hear you. So what's your like longest set? But you've done like 4 albums, right?
Yeah. I mean, you know, when you're headlining, you know, it's 45 minutes, you know, 55 minutes, an hour. I mean, I'm not a guy that, you know, ever wants to go past 45. Really, I get kind of bored after, or not bored. I just, I feel like, you know, nobody wants. I mean, the longest I personally want to watch comedy is probably an hour.
Yeah,
of somebody. And, you know, when you're like headlining on the road, there's already been like a host 10 to 15 minutes and a feature 20 to 30 minutes. The show's about 90 minutes. I mean, I feel like 90 minutes of stand up is about as much people can, I mean, maybe 2 hours people can pay attention, you know, like total. But after that, I feel like it's excessive, you know, that when I hear, you know, they'll be like, "Oh, this guy did like 3 hours or 4." I'm like, "Why? Who's that for?"
I gotta stop doing that because I've been fucking up. Freaks and Geeks, my apology. I've been fucking up and giving you too much content. Like fucking.
I mean, you know, some people like the Joe Rogan. It's 3 hours. I mean, I get, you know, I listen, you know, Howard Stern back in the day. You know, it's like but you know, I don't know. I'm more like brevity, you know. You should be able to say everything in 45 minutes. And then,
get it done, get out, and fucking get home, and then get the people thinking. Yeah, I got you. So, were you a door guy at the at Go Bananas?
No, I just did sets there.
Just getting on the list, doing the call, like just trying to get some regular appearances there.
Yeah, you know. Do the Wednesday night. That was their night for like, you know, the locals. And then you do well there. And then I started hosting. Then I got in like the hosting rotation and I'd host like 5 or 6 times a year. Then you'd start like featuring a couple times a year as well.
Nice.
So, yeah, I mean, it was nice. I mean, you know, in the Midwest, a place like that, you know, now there's shows every night. But back then there was like, you know, a couple extra shows a week besides the ones that were at the club. So when you got those host weeks and you got to do 6 shows in a week, that's when you really could like, by the end of the week, you really made some progress in your stand-up, you know, and you're working with like professional guys, you're watching the sets, you're making friendships. I mean, it was an invaluable experience. I mean, you know, it also helps to have like, an independent comedy club in your town because, the chain clubs, they don't necessarily care about the local talent, So if you have the local club, the independent club, they're more likely to give the local talent a fucking chance. They're taking more risk on the headliners and stuff, bringing up and coming people in. So,
Oh yeah. Yeah. No. So when you came to the store, how'd you get your door spot?
Oh, well, my roommate, Mitch Burrow, who I was on that Dead Air show with he worked there. And, I just was, looking to do a little bit less of the road and trying to get at the Comedy Store. Like when I moved out here, I didn't really fuck with the Comedy Store at all. Cause that was before like Adam Egget, the guy, it's like the booker before he had they really kind of redid the place. When I first moved out here, it had like a real sort of negative vibe to it,
Yeah.
And so I just didn't fuck with it. I just was like, I just did other shit, and maybe that was a mistake. I don't know. I just was doing other stuff. And then
did you go to the Ice House or anything like that?
No, because the Ice House is too far away from where I've performed there, I think I'm technically passed at the Ice House. I get emails, but it's like a 45-minute drive. So I never, if I live like a block, if I live close to it, sometimes just the geography in LA will limit to where you go, I performed a lot at this place called the West Side Comedy Theater in Santa Monica. I did a lot of shows there.
All right.
And, I really hope they make it. It's been tough on them. The Improv, and then like, just all the independent shows out here.
Yeah. A lot of like independent bookers come out of the woodworks this trying to be bookers in 2020, trying to make something, put together some shows in the parking lots, on beaches, and a lot of shit out there, just trying to pull any strings they can. But hell yeah. Let's see. Did you ever have any good Mitzi encounters?
I never met, she'd already passed away before I started working there. I only worked there about, like a year or so.
I gotcha. Yeah, but were you ever like in the store at all? Not even like in the working thing, but like in that 7 years that you'd been in LA, did you ever see her at all?
No. That's how rarely I went up there.
Like, yeah. Okay, you alluded to that. I gotcha. Dating, talking back to like incorporating, because I want to move into another segment, but I want to just keep one more question with the funny here. Were you a class clown in school?
Yeah, I
pulling jokes and shit.
I always thought I was pretty funny. I thought the senior superlatives, those things they give out at the in your senior year.
Yeah,
that's the one I was really angling for, was class cut up. I think that's what they called it. Because you cut it up. And my senior year, we got 2 transfer students. They were brothers, but they weren't twin brothers.
Oh.
They were both seniors, and they were both Filipino guys.
Yeah.
And the school I went to was just all white. It wasn't like by law. It just was. You know what I mean? It was just it. So these 2 Filipino guys came in, and they were like, the one kid, his name was Reno. And then like he would say like fuck in class, and like they just didn't know what to do with it, and he was like he was exotic, to us, because everybody's white, and this kid, I think they'd been living in Hawaii, and I don't know if they gotten in some trouble or some shit, and they got sent to Kentucky to like finish out high school,
Yeah, shit.
And the one, he just came in. Everybody I went to school with, we went to school together essentially since first grade, so everybody knew each other. It wasn't like we fed into some other school.
Yeah,
we all in the same town. We all knew each other. And then this new guy comes in with that new guy flavor,
and
like foreign, and he's fucking dropping F-bombs and
hot jokes. Hot new cotton.
There was just no way to fucking beat that guy. You know what I mean? It was
That's crazy. An out of towner came in, knew all that.
You get new, you got new guy heat, know?
Yeah.
And, so I ended up getting, I was voted most likely to succeed. Like the only one.
Shit.
That'll haunt you the rest of your life. You know what I mean?
Got to live up to that.
Nobody follows up, make sure you're the best dancer 20 years later.
Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah, that's a lot of pressure. That's a shitload of pressure. All right, man. Well, let's go to Kentucky. I don't know like a lot about that state in particular, but you were born in, or not born, but you grew up in more of a city, in the city area of Kentucky, or a rural area? You were right? Because it was closer to Cincy?
Yeah, I mean, like Cincinnati is right across the river from where you can see the river. My town I grew up in was like on the river, and then across the river was Cincinnati. I mean,
was it Florence?
The town was originally planned as like one of the first suburbs, like of Cincinnati, but now it's like a town.
Yeah.
The city bus went through my town and took you right downtown Cincinnati. So
shit, so that's pretty close.
Yeah, it's really close. So had more of that sort of experience. But I guess
Did you fuck with the baseball team or anything like that? The Reds?
Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, we would the Reds. We'd go to the baseball games. We'd take the bus to the baseball game. We'd walk home and shit.
Yeah, you see Pete Rose or anything like that?
I did see Pete Rose. I mean, I don't really remember it. I was like a very little kid. I remember we went when he was playing with the Expos. He played for the Expos for about a half a season, and he was playing against the Reds. And we went to that game, and they walked him like. They walked him every time because I think he was coming up on like a milestone. It wasn't when he broke the hit record, but he was coming up on some sort of hit milestone.
Yeah. And
the Reds didn't want to give up that hit to him.
Oh, I got you. Fuck. That's crazy.
And I remember when the Expos traded Pete Rose back to the Reds, my dad came home and he couldn't believe it. He was like so excited and shit.
Oh fuck, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I think I met the guy once. Fucking
you met
child.
Pete Rose?
Yeah. I met that guy. As an infant. I can't say that, but yeah, I met him, and then fucking Troy Aikman didn't want nothing to do with me. So Troy, if you're we don't get down with that guy. Let's talk. I want to talk automobiles. Just not like strictly going in, diving in on automobiles, but let's talk about some of your cars in the past, growing up in that youthful time. Cars that you were driving around in fucking Kentucky or Cincy during school. Like what were some of those things?
I had like this 79 Grand Prix. It was black. Shit. It was cool looking, man. Yeah. But my parents, they got it for like cheap, and like I drove it for like maybe a couple of weeks, and the engine was making weird noise.
Yeah.
And then our neighbor, he was like he worked at an auto parts store. He knew cars and shit. And, and he was like, "Oh, you got a rod knocking." So it was just, so that was like my first car. And then I didn't really have a car for a while after that. And then I got a Saturn, which is, I mean, it's nice. It was nice, but it wasn't like the Grand Prix. It wasn't like a fuck car. It wasn't exciting. And then, since then, none of my cars have really been exciting. I've had some old Camrys, and
I gotcha. Reliable, more
reliable. Especially once I, was like doing the road comedy and driving every week to, hours. You just need something like a Japanese or Korean car that you can fucking run off the face of the earth.
Hell yeah. You ever do any of those triple runs?
And originally I was scheduled to do a triple run once, and then it was going to be like a 3-week long one. That was crazy. And then like right before I was supposed to leave, I was going to like Sioux Falls.
Yeah.
and then from Sioux Falls, I was going to drive out the rest of the way out west and just be out there. And when I was like about to leave for Sioux Falls, which there used to be a comedy club there in South Dakota, and then like the next week, like 3 or 4 of the dates of the Tribble run of the first week canceled.
No shit.
And I messaged him, was like, dude, I can't. I mean, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, I can't do this, you know. Damn. I mean, so I never did it, you know. And I hear all the stories, and there was another company called Comedy Express, and they had like a run that started in Dickinson, North Dakota, and you did like Dickinson, then somewhere in South Dakota. Then you would do like 2 nights in St. Cloud, Minnesota. And there was it was a lot of driving. Every day was like 4 or 5 hours. So that was like as close as I got to doing like a Tribble run type thing.
Yeah. When you were on the road, would you mainly hit the East Coast, or what's up? Would you stay out west?
I was mostly in the Midwest. I mean, there's so many cities in the Midwest, and they all had comedy clubs, and most of them were with. The farthest I would like drive before I would try to buy a plane ticket was like 12 hours. So like Minnesota was like the farthest part of the run, like Minneapolis, you know. But you know, there's Madison and Appleton and Chicago and Indianapolis and Columbus and Lexington and Louisville and
big ass circuit right in there, like kind of
hit
a lot of spots.
And I mean, Michigan had a bunch of, you know, Detroit, Ann Arbor, Grand Rapids. I mean, there's a bunch of spots that were, you know, not too far away, you know, St. Louis, Kansas City. I mean, Cincinnati was pretty centrally located to do a lot of those places. So
you ever do Pittsburgh at all?
No, you know, never did Pittsburgh. You know, I don't know what.
I don't know if they gotta like to laugh over there, I think. But
I mean, I think they had like a improv or something that just it might have been a different booker. You know, sometimes it's just like nobody you know works there when you're starting out, and there's just no way to get in. You just don't fuck with it. I mean, I didn't really start doing like Cleveland until like maybe the past 6 years, and I started comedy in Cincinnati.
You ever been to that Kentucky Derby?
I had never been to the Kentucky Derby. I think I should have probably went, but you know, it's like 600,000 people. You know, it's like a traffic nightmare. Like when I went, I went to the Indianapolis 500 when I was like 12 years old, and I remember just all of the traffic. It just getting out. Yeah, it just took forever. And me and my dad, we sat on a corner of the track where you just see the cars for like a couple seconds, and then they're gone. And it was like a year where they had a ton of wrecks, and we saw no wrecks.
Were y'all on the fucking track or are you sitting in the stands?
We're on in the stands.
Okay. I mean, like in the inner circle. Sometimes you can.
I think we might have been in the inner part. You know, we weren't on the outer part, but we were still in the stands. We were like, we weren't in the infield thing.
Yeah.
And also, you know, I guess the Indy 500 and the Kentucky Derby, it's really about going and like drinking and carrying on and shit like that.
Yeah. Seeing how far you could take it.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. You, I think I've heard you speak about airport life. You used to work at an airport?
Oh, I worked at a call center for an airport.
Okay.
I worked for Delta. Like, you know, I'd be like, Delta Airlines, Dave Waite, how may I help you? And then, so I did that for like 4 years while I was in college. It was pretty cool. Shit. I mean, I got to fly for free. I went all sorts of places. You know, I always had the travel bug, I guess. I just want to, I think everybody should get out and travel more. The more places people go, more people they meet, I think it enriches your life and makes you realize that a lot of us, you know, we're a lot more the same than we are different.
Oh, yeah.
I think, you know, with people being very divided now, I think it would behoove people to get out and realize that I think we're all kind of trying to be in this together. I mean,
Yeah,
don't travel right now.
Oh, yeah.
But once it's over,
I think you might have. What's that?
I've traveled some. Like I went out to Colorado this summer. I just drove out there. My friends lived out there. I wanted to get out of the house. And, I mean, I didn't interact with a lot of people, and I want to just be in a different place. And I went home, but
No, I haven't fucking left the state, but it's hard as fuck to get out of this state. It's hard as fuck to get out of California at sometimes. But here, any direction you go in fucking Texas, it's especially from the center, it's fucking 8+ just to get out of this motherfucker.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Oh, yeah. So we'll just fucking hunker down here, fucking around, and fucking try to keep mental and physical health on the positive. Try not to overdo or overkill anything, and fucking keep on going. So let's see. I want to. I brushed past something that's new, and this was the. I want to talk to you about some have you ever questions. These random. I just got a couple of random hot hitter questions for you to see what's going on in a couple of elements of just different questions. But let me give you a few ones. They're all random as fuck. So, have you ever sung karaoke?
Yeah, I have sung karaoke.
What's your song?
Usually I try to pick something that like everybody will join in, so it'll kind of.
Oh shit! Yeah.
I think the last time I did it, I Fought the Law. That song. But I think the Clash made it famous. But it's just like one of those, easy songs that everybody will, if the people in the bar will join along, then it kind of covers up my lack of ability to sing.
Yeah. No shit. Let's see. Have you ever been an extra in a movie?
I haven't been an extra in a movie. I've been in a movie. I was, and my friend Henry Phillips. He's very funny. He made this movie called Punchin' Henry, and I played drunk guy number 3. But I had a line, and I think if you have a line, you're not an extra. Technically, So the movie's pretty funny. I think it's on. You might be able to find it on Amazon or Showtime.
You have to check that out. Freaks and Geeks, do check that out for sure.
And I'm right at the beginning. Like he plays a comedian. He's getting off stage, and I'm a guy harassing him and shit like that. So it was pretty easy thing that I know how to do. There's a lot of really funny people are in it, like Sarah Silverman. And,
shit.
Nikki Glazer's in it, and Brendan Walsh. She's from Austin. So
nice. Yeah. I've heard Brendan. Sarah's fucking amazing too.
Tig Notaro's in it. So, okay. I mean, if you like stand-up, you'll see a lot of your favorite comedians in it.
Nice. I think a lot of the audience does fucking get down with comedy and get down with laughing and shit like that. Have you ever been kicked out or banned from anywhere? Bars included, malls, fucking stores.
I was kicked out of a Harlem Globetrotters game once.
What were you, a Washington fan or what?
With the Harlem Globetrotters, I guess they were doing this thing where they were playing like the college all-stars.
Okay.
So it wasn't like they weren't doing all their bullshit with the fucking spin. They were like legit playing.
Yeah.
So it's like this. I don't know how often they did it. But I won free tickets on the radio. It was like the only time I ever won something free. And I got free tickets from the radio, and I took my friends. And at the time I was like 21.
Yeah.
And maybe one of my other friends was 21 as well. But 2 of the people we went with weren't 21. And we went, and we're getting like, the game was like in the afternoon, and we were just getting ripped. And I was buying beers for people. And we were like, and like the PA system was like crazy loud. Like it was like ridiculously loud for like, I was like, why? We were like complaining about that, and we were just drunk. And we're
drunk as shit.
And then the security came, and they pulled me and my friend who had like been buying drinks. They pulled us out, and we're like, we got you on camera buying drinks for your friends. We could lose our liquor license. I'm like, you're a fucking arena. You're not losing your liquor license. You know what I mean? This is a fucking big ass arena. It's not like some corner bar that might actually lose their liquor license.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then, they just asked us to leave, but it is a crazy thing to get kicked out of.
Yeah. Arena. That's a big level. We have people get kicked out of fucking stores, bars, but never an arena. Fuck. That's crazy.
I mean, we were kind of over it anyways at that point. Cause it was like, what is this? Cause it's not, they're not doing the fucking throwing the confetti or doing any of the bullshit you want to see with the fucking Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah,
they're like
real basketball.
They're playing real basketball. With just like an exhibition game versus some guys hoping to like hang on, maybe play in Europe or something like that in a couple months. It was just a weird thing to go watch. I just didn't have a vested interest in it.
Yeah. Man, yeah, we have not heard that one before. You ever been to a midnight movie release? What about that one? You ever been to a midnight movie release?
Oh yeah, I remember I saw the fucking at Star Wars the Phantom Menace.
Get the fuck out! We had another guy. Episode 1, right?
Yeah, dude, I was like so fucking amped. I was amped. Yeah. I went with my girlfriend at the time. I was like, I've been waiting, bro.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I remember watching it, and just when it was over, I was like, what the fuck was that, bro? Like I was so disheartened. I'm not like I don't know, my one roommate, he's like such a Star Wars nerd that he can't enjoy really any of it. I'm like, I don't even know why you're watching this. You're fucking complaining about all this fucking bullshit. I now like The Mandalorian, I think that shit's dope, and I think I don't care what he's up to. I'm just like, I like that he's going to different worlds and doing different shit. There's not a lot of story. But when Star Wars gets bad when there's a bunch of story,
and it's all fucking story past the fucking number. What is it? Number 7, 4, 5? No, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, past the
4,
6
5, 6. Those are tight, But then like the prequel ones are like just all this fucking bullshit that's going on. That you're like, man, I don't care. I never needed to know the origin of Darth Vader, really, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing that. That was just like so. It was so disillusioning. I was just like, man, this fucking sucked. And then it wasn't until maybe the past couple years I saw the other 2 ones. And then I was like, they're okay. I mean, the one thing is like all the CGI they use in those movies, it's just so outdated now. Where the original movies look better because they use practical effects,
Yeah.
And then the prequels, you're like, man,
they look like shit because the technology is advanced.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. No, I definitely agree on that. Let me see. You ever bowled a 300 game in bowling?
Fuck. Have you had a guess?
Nah, I got what he had like 220, something like that. He broke the 2s, but that's about it. No, I haven't had a 300 guy on here yet.
I mean, I think maybe 150 is the best I've ever done.
Oh shit!
I don't know. I think they used to. Newspaper. I feel like that was like a thing back in the day. If you bowled a 300,
yeah, the fucking balloons would drop and the fucking confetti and all this shit. Yeah. No, that was a huge fucking thing back in the day. If anybody came to town and bowled a 300, that was the fucking the week's news or some shit like that. All right. Have you ever won $100 on a lottery ticket or a fucking scratch off before, bud?
Yeah, I won $100 on a lottery.
Shit.
Yeah. I had my first job. I worked at a restaurant in downtown Cincinnati. Yeah. It was like a pretty nice restaurant, and I was the busboy, and I would take but I was a busboy, and I would take the bus home, which is silly, but I would take the bus home, and I'd go to the bus station, and the bus station, it had like, a little bodega thing in there, like the stand, you'd see in like a subway station, and I bought like a lottery ticket, and I scratched that thing off, and I was like, I won $100. It was
Oh,
fucking.
shit.
It was fucking more money I made in tips that week.
Hell yeah.
It was fucking nice, dude.
That's it. Have you ever put the wrong gas in your car?
I never put the. I don't know how you do that. I mean, unless you're putting diesel in there.
Yeah,
but
you're fucking around putting. You ever put? I had one buddy. He put fucking regular in the diesel. So yeah, that's fucked up. No, yeah, he fucked that up. That was his father's fucking diesel truck, and he fucked that one up.
Yeah, that's a fucking bad move, bro.
Yeah, that's a definitely bad move. He had to drain that whole fucking gas tank right then and there. Look, here, let me get you with this one. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner? Which one you fucking with right there?
Oh, I mean, I guess I go through phases where I'll eat breakfast food, and then sometimes I just won't for a while.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not breakfast. Maybe dinner.
Okay.
Do
you cook?
Well, at the beginning of when we first got locked down, I really made an effort to get into cooking, and I got those meal kit things. They were sending those to the house, So I was cooking that stuff, where they just send you a box with a bunch of fruits and some fucking
directions and shit,
spices and a meat, and then was like, all right. I mean, the thing I liked about that is they gave you eat the portion of stuff, like they'd send like rosemary, like shit I would never know to buy, and so I did learn like how to make sauces, how to cook a lot of shit by doing that. I mean, it was pretty informative, and then I just got burned out of doing so many dishes just for myself. Like I'd had a pot and pans and I had like 8 dishes dirty to make this elaborate meal just for me. And I was like, this is exhausting.
Yeah, that shit's a pain. The big fucking thing you got to do is fucking clean as you go. But that's a pain in the ass if you're just doing it for yourself. You drink coffee?
I mean, periods of time where I fuck with coffee, and then other times where I don't. I mean, there's the Starbucks that's nearest to us it's just a little bit outside the range. Like if it was like an 8-minute walk, I mean, the Starbucks from here is like a 20-minute walk, so it's just like a little bit outside the. I mean, I walk a lot, but I don't know. When I live closer to a coffee shop, I fuck with it more.
I got you. Hell yeah. You ever follow pro wrestling?
I mean, when I was like a kid, there was like a period where I did for a little bit, when it was like Jake the Snake.
Hell yeah.
And,
Randy Savage.
George the Animal Steel.
Uh-huh.
And the Macho Man.
Yeah, the Macho fucking Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
All that type of shit. Did you ever see any of that in Cincy live or anything?
I went one time to like a WCW thing, and like Ric Flair was there. It was like it was like one of those ones that wasn't on TV. It was like an afternoon match or something like that.
Yeah, I think I went to one of those.
And there wasn't a lot of people there. I mean, we had pretty good seats. It was okay. I mean, now I don't. I think it's just kind of like a soap opera for men and stuff like that. I mean, it's kind of silly.
It is. It's silly as shit. But now when I look at it, it's. I used to be a fan when I was growing up as well. But now I look at it from the fucking the acting, the theoretical like stance. These motherfuckers learning all these lines, cutting all these promos, and then putting it is soap opera for sure. But when they put it, and not necessarily live like that, there's just a lot more shit that goes into play. Did you ever see that that Glow show? I
watched some of the Glow. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one. I didn't like that last finale to that last one, the Christmas shit, but I think they're coming back, and I think that was going to be a pretty good one.
I don't know if they're coming back. I saw Mark Maron tweet that he was trying to save the show and stuff like that.
Really?
At least to come back to do like a final, maybe like a 2-hour episode or something that.
I thought they had done some other recording recently past the Christmas thing. I know I'd seen that one broad, the main one, the one that's going out with fucking Dave Franco. I know I saw her doing some shit, but all right, man. So that's all the fucking the Kentucky shit right there. Well, you like any bourbons out there? Any of those Kentucky bourbons?
I mean, bourbon's all right. I know. It's like meeting somebody that doesn't like. Well, I mean, I like. I'm not a connoisseur of it, I guess.
I
Is what
got
I'm
you.
saying.
I got you. I got you. So I want to move back to back out west. We discussed some fucking some of your region, the Kentucky, the Cincy and shit like that. But let's go back out west. Let's go back to out to LA. But I want to stick in like in the current sense. So how is the current work? And I know that's a heavily weighted question as far as like it's fucking locked the fuck down. But are you doing anything recently at the store? I know they're doing some sorts of little outdoor things there with the whole little glass, the little
Yeah, I mean,
glass wall.
I did the. You're in the original room, and then you're performing through the glass for people on the.
It's on the intercom.
Yeah, they put a speaker out there,
Oh, I got you.
and you're performing to people on the bar patio area.
Yeah.
Some people were doing it every night. I went up and would do it every once in a while, but once I'd already been doing. I got used to doing shows in front of real people outside again.
Yeah.
It was hard to do the transition back to something like that.
Yeah.
Where you're like, man, this is fucking brutal.
Yeah. It's tough. How's your writing right now? You writing every day?
I mean, I write sometimes. It's hard to write stand up when you're not performing as much. Yeah. I mean, and a lot of the stuff I've written is about what's going on now with the COVID and it's worked pretty well. I mean, I went to Oklahoma and did shows inside there, and it didn't work very well because
no shit.
Well, people are inside,
Mm-hmm.
so and it's Oklahoma. I don't think the first night I was there, it was all like it was service industry night, so it was like people that had to work the whole time during all this, and I did really well because I think they
appreciate that.
Appreciate it. They're on the front lines of having to fucking work and deal with this shit.
Hell yeah.
And then the other people weren't. So it wasn't like I didn't intentionally set out to try to alienate people, but I'm not going to write jokes that cater to people that don't think the fucking coronavirus is a big deal. I mean, I think it's fucked up. I mean, and the way that the government has handled it has been pretty fucked up. And
oh yeah, it's fucked.
Just because you don't believe it's fucking real or don't want to wear a mask doesn't mean that the virus don't give a fuck about that, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's it's disappointing that when people don't want to pull together, it's not about being sheep or whatever, it's about coming together for mankind. And
yeah, definitely on the fucking global on the global spectrum too, bud, because we're just talking about the states, what I'm saying? It's got to be done in fucking all the countries all over the world. I don't know if you
a lot of
shit out there.
A lot of countries did a better job than us. It's hard to it's hard to, when people go around thinking America's number one, it's hard to reconcile that when, we didn't do a good job with this.
No,
fuck no. So, maybe we need to, do some soul searching and think about it if we want to be number one again and how we need to make that happen.
Yeah, no, I would say the U.S. definitely did fuck up on this whole thing that popped off on March 13th, 2020. Fucking Friday the 13th. That was some trippy shit. Let's see. So how do you feel about all this fucking movement? There's been would you say that there's been a lot of movement at the store as far as like people leaving?
I mean, it's hard to really tell because I don't know how many people have left. And we won't really know until everything's open back up and everybody's there again, or not there. I mean, there's been quite a few people that have moved away, and there's rumors that more people are going to move away. I mean, the one thing I will say is, when you move to one of these big cities like New York or LA, and you have like a bad day, and you're like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna leave. Fuck this place, I'm leaving." You think, I have that feeling because it's I'm getting by, I'm doing okay, but I'm not like these famous people, that have a ton of money. It's kind of reassuring that these famous people are like, "Fuck this place, I'm leaving."
They gotta go.
That apparently that feeling doesn't go away even if you get everything,
that they have that feeling, but you don't have that feeling. Yeah, I got that.
I have that feeling. I just didn't realize that they had it too. I thought they got to the mountaintop and they're like, "We're okay."
Yeah. No, not. I mean, like that they had to fucking leave. It said like, we got to get the fuck out of here. We have all these fucking all the riches, but we still got to go. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't think about that.
I mean, you're living in Austin. A lot of them people are coming there.
Man.
The thing is, I don't know. Austin is still not a huge city. I mean, it's big, but it's not the size of LA.
No.
You know what I mean? When it reopens, Joe Rogan is still out every night of the week, but is there comedy going to be like in LA, on a Monday night, you could still have 200 people at a show.
Yeah.
Is Austin big enough? And Austin is I would say more of a music city than it is a comedy city. I mean, there is a fair amount of comedy in Austin.
Yeah.
More than like Nashville. I feel like Nashville is so music. Like anytime I've done shows there, it's always been like, I guess, like there's hardly any stage space in Nashville for comedy, but I don't know. I mean, I think Austin has produced quite a few comics over the years that are, pretty funny people.
Yeah. Have you ever opened up for a musician?
I mean, when I first started, I did like my friend's band. I would do sets in between. And boy, that was a nightmare because
they don't want to hear fucking jokes. They want to hear more fucking chords and shit like that.
Yeah, or it's also after a band's done playing, that's the first time people been able to talk to each other in an hour. And they don't want to hear somebody else talk. They want to talk to their friends and try to get laid.
Most definitely, hell yeah. Do you think that you've seen a new batch of people at the store?
Since when?
I mean, just even in this year, with all this shit that's gone off, have you seen any new faces? Any new like up and coming people?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you had asked me this question in March, I probably would have had a better answer for you. I thought, the guy Chappelle Lacey, he's very funny, and I think he's on Theo Vaughn's podcast.
Yeah, no, he's
lot.
Pretty funny. He's pretty funny.
Yeah, and I think he moved to LA maybe a year or two ago, and he's been doing pretty well, So that's the one guy I can think of offhand,
That's cool. Have you been on any of Theo's stuff?
No, I mean, I just started working at the Comedy Store, so I wasn't in that world, really.
Yeah, and he already dipped off too, right? Didn't he go to Kentucky?
I think he went to Nashville.
Okay, yeah. Okay, nice.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't just the comedy. I mean, there's all sorts of other comedians that are probably, mid-level comics that have left town. Or I don't know. I mean, how many people have left New York? I mean, it's tough to live in these big cities when you're not making an income, really. I mean,
yeah.
I have roommates, so my rent is kind of low, and so I've been able to survive it. But hopefully they do something about the unemployment.
Yeah. Are all of your roommates comedians? Or Who else is? If you don't mind me asking, aside from Mitch Burrows, who's your other roommates over there?
My roommate Grant Lyon, he's a funny guy, and then this other guy Razzle, he does stand up a little bit. He's more in podcasting and being creative and stuff like that. But I mean, enjoyed living with comics because people are traveling. A lot of times not everybody's here, so
free house.
But the past 7-8 months, it hasn't been that way.
No, everybody's been hunkering down.
Everybody's been home. Yeah.
fucking up the rotations there, man.
Yeah.
Shit. Oh, so let's move on to let's do like one more little segment. I think I've been doing a pretty good job at not fucking overkilling. I used to have like fucking 10 questions per little segment, but I think that was a little too much. While they were kind of good, there was just too much shit in there. All right, this is Future Dave. Okay, so the fucking year's almost over, bud. Do you have any are you sitting kind of idle for the rest of the year, or what are you trying to do? What are your expectations for the last few days of this year?
Oh, well, I'm just trying to hunker down. I'm just trying not to get the COVID, but I feel like we're in the fourth quarter of this thing. The vaccine's on the way. You don't want to get it right at the end of the game,
Yeah.
That's really my main goal. And then, trying to do some podcasts. I'm just trying to write during the day and get out and be active some, and just trying to take care of the mental health, really.
Yeah, no, that's big. That's big. Are you doing any meditating, anything like that? You doing any fucking, you're doing the hiking. That's almost meditative.
Yeah. I mean, I was in there's been periods of time where I have been in a meditation and I noticed the benefits and I'm like, this is good. I should keep doing this. And I'll do it for like a month. And then I don't know what happened. You get out of the rhythm, and all you're doing is sitting there really doing nothing, So it's like it's hard to believe that you need to find time to go do nothing. But it's just the habit, the power of habit. It's I don't know why good habits they break so easily. The bad ones those bad ones are hard to break.
Hell yeah, they're the funnest ones, I think. The good habits are the fucking the work, and the bad habits are the fucking the free time or some shit like that. Hey, did you check out Duncan Trussell's Midnight Gospel?
The Netflix thing?
Yeah, did you see that?
I saw a little bit of it. I thought it was pretty cool, I thought
it was very cool. I hope he does some more shit like that and then incorporates more fucking funny people. But that was that was just a podcast and taken and thrown and animated it. I thought that was very, very genius. I hope they give him another run at that.
Yeah, man. I think he's a funny guy. I like whether his comedy seems to be more, positive and trying to leave people with
some sort of a message or fucking hope,
Well, yeah, I think a lot of comedians have a message, there's I don't agree with all their messages. There's a lot of guys that pretend like they don't have a message and they really do. And I'm like, their whole message is that they hate PC culture or something like that. And you're like, they're like, oh, these people get up there and preach about the PC thing. But I'm like, well, that's what you're doing, right? You're just doing the opposite of that. Yeah. So, what the fuck?
So how many podcasts have you done so far? I know I heard you on fucking Dead Air. I'm trying to plug all the podcasts you've been on. I know I heard you on Community Service.
What's
Community Service was what was his name? I just checked that one out recently. Oh, you did do that one. I promise you did Community Service. What was that? Who was that guy? It was a good one. It's another little comedian guy. Let me see. I just checked that one out. Who the fuck was that? Let's see. That was with who the fuck is that? Craig, what's his name? Craig.
I don't know. I think I remember what you're talking about now.
Craig
Oh yeah, Craig Conant. Yeah. He's
that was a good
guy.
one, bud. I did dig that one.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. I like Craig.
He got a little personal, talking about a few things in there, but I thought it was really good. But yeah, I really dug your little appearance on fucking Dead Air. That was definitely a fucking jam.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. I think Red Band moved to Austin too, so I don't know how that's going to work with him.
Yeah, he said
there.
he did move to Austin, but I thought I saw something on his little feed that he was heading back to fucking LA. So I don't know about that, man. I mean, those are the tricky situations. The fucking Red Bands, the fucking Hinchcliffes that are and the fucking the other individuals of that show. They're moving out to Austin, but I think they're gonna still have some sort of stint, some sort of connection with multiple little hubs in the country. So hopefully that's good. Hopefully, because I mean that the store is popping on a Monday night. I feel. I mean, I don't know. Though I think there is some TV magic that goes into those things, and I'm not going to talk much about that magic there. But that production is fucking is definitely out of sight. And I mean, it's I'm grateful for it because it's put me on to people like fucking you. It's put me on to people like fucking Mitch. It's put me on to people like what was that dude Nate? I think his name's Nate out of fucking Louisiana. Just a shitload of funny motherfuckers. Whether it's the William Montgomerys, the fucking David Lucases, the fucking especially Michael Lair. I didn't know about fucking that guy. And then when that guy just
he is funny, man.
Funny as shit.
Yeah. I mean, he's a funny guy, man. I do. It's hard not to feel, I get, he probably, who knows if he wants it, but like, man, this motherfucker's going to die. It's fucked up.
He's going to die, but oh, fuck it. We're going to run that motherfucker till the wheels go off. Yeah. Oh shit. So do you got anything developing for, I don't know. I mean, hear me out. I know this 2020. We got the whole fucking what we're doing, live special or fucking another album. We working on anything like?
Well, I just had a thing come on Epix, the cable channel.
Okay,
you can get it. I think not a ton of people have Epix, but I did just have a thing on there called Unprotected Sets. It's like
okay,
a half hour of stand up intercut with interviews and. What's the guy? Ryan Sickler. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Yes.
He did the interview. That was pretty funny. And so that's on Epix right now. Like, if anybody wants to watch that, then you can get the app. Yeah, I think you can get the app for free for a week, or maybe I think I saw on Amazon Prime you can try it out for $1 for the month. So you can go check that out. Unprotected Sets. There's a bunch of really funny comics on the series. There's like 8 episodes in the series this year, and then last year there was I think that this is the second season of it, so that's on right now. And then I have like I play a crew guy on my friend's TV show. It's called The Movie Show. It's on Sci-Fi.
Okay.
And that episode, I don't know when that episode's going to air, but the show's really funny, and Roy Scoville's in it, and that's like on Thursdays at 11 on Sci-Fi.
Hell yeah.
Or you can, if you got the Peacock app, you can watch that. So, but I'll be in an episode coming up soon. I'm not really. I don't know the air date though.
Dope. That's it. Nice. So, I want to backtrack really quick. Did you ever like any of that fucking Archie Bunker, the All in the Families, the fucking the Jeffersons, anything like that?
That old.
I'm gonna move it into the Golden Girls, but you ever fuck with any of that old school shit like that? Boiling Back, because that was some pretty funny shit. I dug it. It was anti PC, hell yeah, but it was still funny. Yeah.
I mean, I don't, with the PC, either just say it or don't. I with the PC stuff, like for me, I don't. When you get up there and you're acting like you're taking a stand for free speech or something, I don't really give a fuck. You know what I mean? I think either you're funny or you're not. That's the main thing I always focus on. But for me, like the TV show, I would watch a lot of reruns, of Gilligan's Island. That was always in reruns. And then, I watched the Golden Girls for sure. That was just a hit TV show at the time. I didn't get, it's funny to me now that women are going back and watching all that, the Golden Girls now. It's crazy. Those women, they were all like in their 50s. They made them seem so ancient. You know? It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
When you think of like J-Lo's like 50, 50 and shit, you know?
Yeah. And she's fucking the hot piece of ass at the moment, you know? She's
Yeah.
not going anywhere. Have you seen the fucking Netflix Selena run that they're trying to run? Oh, it looks kind of bootleg. I gotta tell you, it
I
looks
remember
like
watching, she was in the movie years
yeah,
ago.
she was the movie and fucking destroyed that. But I seen little photos of the fucking show. She's not affiliated with the show, and it's like a bootleg cut. It just looks too good, does it? I don't know. We'll see how that fucking tapers off or works out.
Now, it's like Selena a big deal in like Texas and stuff, you know, like being a white guy from the Midwest. I didn't really know who she was until I saw that movie, and then I was like, oh, okay.
I don't know, man. She's a big deal in some areas, but I feel she's also like recently been popularized and monetized. So that's the kind of fucked up thing. She's fucking dead as disco, but they're still making bank off the name. They're still making bank off her colors. They're still making bank off the way she looks, you know, making these shows and shit like that. And there's not like a foundation or anything like that. She's got a fucking museum down in Corpus Christi, Texas, where she was from. And that's her all like, she's got her studio there, fucking tour buses and all that shit like that, dresses and all this type of shit. But I mean, they're still making money on the name. And
were you alive when she was killed? Like, I don't know how old you are. I can't
oh shit! But I think I was probably a fucking young. I had to have been a young child, super young. So I never really like got into her. But the family really, they liked her. I know it was a definite shock and blow to the Mexican / Latino like a music culture in the area. She was definitely, but then on a different spectrum, that's like true hard fucking like Mexican people don't like. They kind of brush her off, and she was more she wasn't Mexican enough, if I may say that, you know.
She was like Tex-Mex, like the food.
Yeah. So they were all like, "Oh, fuck that's we're listening. That's not the real shit that we're listening to." But nah, she's I do hold respects for her. But there's a shitload of other musicians in the fucking state that are no longer here that I think fucking knocked the dust off the socks of her, but I'm not. There's no competition.
But anytime somebody gets murdered like that,
on that, that's fucked up. That you're the leader.
He died tragically, you know.
Yeah, especially with that person, you know what I'm saying, the one that's running the fan club. But I feel like a lot of them have been tragic deaths, but not murders like that. Most of them have been tragic deaths where it's fucking airplanes or fucking overdoses or some shit like that. But yeah, when someone takes the fucking life of a musician like that, yeah, it's fucking tough. It is tough. Oh, let's fucking come up. Let's bring it back. Let's roll it back. Let's roll it back and then get ready to fucking to depart, because I don't know what you got to get into, but I need to start fucking editing this. I got a previous one that I got to edit. I got a little too saucy on that one, so I hope I was appropriate in this one. But I fucked that last one up a little bit, man. It was a big football game, and I got fucking sauced and tossed before watching the game, and then fucking the buddy came in. I had all my notes, and then I was listening to the last 30 seconds of it, and there was some slurred speech a little bit in there. The power of editing, though. But no, I think I fucking set some rules now. But so you've talked kind of like some future works, and you've talked some stuff that's going to come out soon, and some stuff that's just recently released. So that's fucking, I'm ecstatic about that. But do you want? I want to give you this opportunity to just plug anything. You just did a lot of plugs, but plug the Let's plug stuff you haven't done. Plug the IG. Plug the fucking website. Plug where we can purchase the fucking 4 albums, because we want to purchase some Freaks and Geeks. Don't just go fucking hit the Spotify or the iTunes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Get our buddy fucking Dave Waite some fucking let him wet his beak a little bit. So.
Yeah, I guess. All my stuff is available on iTunes and Amazon. Just Dave Waite, and on Amazon, you can buy the physical copies of like 2 of the records if you're like that. If you like the CD form and hold it in your hand or whatever. I don't even know if people have CD players. I mean, if I had more of a fan base, I'd probably make some vinyl because I think it's cool and
Yeah,
shit.
no, vinyl's cool. Vinyl is cool.
It'd be cool just to have like the record form and vinyl and shit like that. So hopefully one day I'll be able to do that. And then my Instagram, Dave Waite Comedy. I'm always lately I haven't posted a lot of shit because I've just been fucking with the outside. But I'll go through periods where I'll make videos and or do funny shit on there. And my Twitter, I'm always doing fun.
Okay,
stuff
hit
on
the
there,
Twitter,
so.
hit the fucking IG, hit the 3Ws, the main website. I heard about this fucking door guy's YouTube. Is it like a little show? I couldn't find that. What's up with that?
So it's on my Instagram. If you just got to scroll back.
Okay.
Me and Mitch at the very beginning of the lockdown, we just started making these videos where we just pretend like we were doing the door guy job. We wanted to stay fresh for when we went back to work.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Because we thought it was only going to be 6 weeks. And so we started making it. We made like 20 of them. And they're like on my Instagram. They're on Mitch's Instagram. You just got to scroll back and find them. And then it was a fun thing to do. I mean, it kept us from going crazy. And I feel like I got a lot better editing videos and shit like that.
Nice. That's fucking boss, man. Yeah, hopefully we can move into doing while we did record this, I may upload it to YouTube, but YouTube's fucking tricky, man. It's a lot of fucking editing magic. I'd really like to get into that fucking Twitch realm. Do you play any video games?
Man, I wish, because everybody's hot on the Twitch.
I think you would fucking kill on the Twitch, bud. Fucking get on something.
I probably would kill it on the Twitch.
I think that would be fucking funny as shit to see you up there just pop up and just fucking playing video games. I think that'd be a jam, bud.
Maybe I should be twitching it.
Look into it. Start off with some simple games and shit like that, and just fucking crack jokes and stuff. I think that would definitely work out. Well, Dave, thank you so much for your time. Do you have any other things to discuss? You want to drop anything? You want to say anything? Any last fucking moment things?
Well, you mentioned guitar. Who are your guys? That's the Mark Maron question. Who's your guitar guys? Like,
okay, how many would you like me to give you? You want me to do like 5?
Yeah, just do like 5.
Okay. All right. Fucking just get. Oh, okay. All right. Let's do. And this is not in order. And thanks for preparing a question, but I really appreciate that. I think that's one thing because I don't share a lot of information about myself blatantly, but I do like for people to ask questions and just for it to trickle out. But we're gonna open up, and again, this is not in order. I want to Buddy Guy. All right, you know who Buddy Guy is?
Yeah, I know Buddy Guy. Yeah.
Do you like what kind of music do you like?
I mean, I like, the rock and roll and blues. And, I like pretty much everything now.
Nice.
I didn't, before. But now I realize that there's a good, even like country music. There's, people like Sturgill Simpson or like like Johnny Cash or Willie Nelson or stuff like that. Or what was it? That Mike Judge had that show, Tales from the Tour Bus. I need to dabble into that one. I did not see that. Shit, it's fucking awesome, man. Because they animate like these crazy stories. And the one season was like all country, and like I found out about like Billy Joe Schaefer and shit like that. I never knew about him, and like that's and like Waylon Jennings, like, and that shit's like pretty good, when I was growing up, I was so into like rock and roll that I was like. Country music was like antithetical, like the pop country music is not for me. What I mean?
No, that's not for me.
I don't know what that is really.
No, I don't fucking know what that. No, it's
like watered down rock and roll or something like that.
Yeah, with this smidgen of fucking trying to be a little bit of rap like in there.
Yeah,
beats and a twang or something. Fucking beats. Nah, I don't dig on that. So we got Buddy Guy, and then I'm gonna go down. John Fogerty. John
Fogerty,
yeah. I've seen him live on in Austin. Not tied into CCR because they fucked him, but definitely. He kills. Do you get on his shit?
Oh yeah, man! I saw him years ago live. I remember when he played center field. He had a guitar that looked like a baseball bat. It was very thin. It was this like. essentially looked like a baseball bat. Maybe it was, and then it had guitar strings on it, and like for center field, he busted that out.
Was that with CCR or after the disbandment?
That was like, yeah. I mean, he hasn't been with them since the 70s or something like that. So he's been by himself. I mean, essentially, he did a lot of that shit on the record anyway. So
he did some crazy shit on all of his records. Very melodical, but very simplistic as well. Some fucking zany solos, whether it's that fucking Put a Spell on You. That's some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Keep on Chugolin, fucking Susie Q, Born on a Bayou, all that type of shit.
Great shit, man.
Yeah, hell yeah. Okay, so you got Buddy Guy, gave you John Fogerty. What else do I want to? Jack White's cool, but I'm not gonna toss Jack White in there. He's more modern. Fuck, I should, but nah, I don't think I'm gonna do it. I wanted to leave this guy till the end, but I got to throw Stevie Ray Vaughan in there out of respect for the fucking state.
Oh yeah, you got to put Stevie Ray in there for Texas for sure.
Oh yeah, so we throw Stevie Ray in there. Oh shit, Albert King. You get down with him?
I mean, I know who he is. I don't know how much I've listened to his stuff.
Yeah, you should check out his shit. Albert King is really fucking out of sight. Now I think these are all just heavily blues heads. All right, I'll throw this guy in there for you, Angus Young.
All right.
I could choose more. I could step outside the box. Let me give you two off Broadway hitters. Let's see. I gotta shout out this guy. This is one of my fucking definite local appreciations. His name is Black Joe Lewis.
Okay.
He's a local Austin artist, so definitely check that out. We had his bassist on the last week's the last podcast episode. That was a blast to have. So Black Joe Lewis, and I'll throw out fucking one more. Fuck, let's see. Well, fuck this. Oh, god damn, how can I not? This guy should have gone in 5. Keith Richards.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I fucked up on that. Yeah, Keith's somewhere in 5. I think we're gonna have to bump. Damn it, I don't want to bump Angus.
You put a rhythm guy in there, huh?
Yeah, Keith and fucking Charlie, not Charlie Watts, but the other guy, Keith and Ron Wood. Ron's a fucking. In all honesty, I would kind of say that Ron's a little bit better than Keith just because he can do that fucking slide guitar. But Keith is definitely a savage out there. You like the Stones at all?
Yeah, I like the Stones. I saw them in concert. I did see them at the. I saw them at Churchill Downs where they run the Kentucky Derby. I went and saw them. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. And
that's fucking badass.
I saw them a long time ago in a Pearl Jam. I'm like really into Pearl Jam. I saw Pearl Jam open for the Rolling Stones in Oakland.
That's badass.
When I was,
I've seen them once. I saw them once in Zilker Park, the only time they've been to Austin. I just thought of another one that Tony Iommi, bud. I can't not include Tony Iommi.
Yeah, I mean it's a very signature sound there, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of created the heavy metal and hard rock, you know.
Hell yeah, that's badass.
What was that guy? I saw that he was at the Comedy Store one night. Gary Clark Jr.
Oh yeah, that's an Austin guy.
Yeah, I mean,
he's kind of like modern blues.
He's starting to blow up now a little bit.
Yeah. He did. I think he had one of the last 3-night sets at there's a theater downtown Austin called Austin City Limits, the Moody Theater.
Yeah, I know.
So I think he did the last 3 nights there. I mean, I'm probably out of date if they were the exact last 3, but he did one of the last few shows there. Yeah,
he's doing. I mean, it's hard for any sort of guitar-driven music to break through these days. I mean, he's doing pretty well, I think.
Yeah. That's what's up. So, do you listen to a lot of music now? What about on the hikes? Let's bring it back. Let's call back to the fucking hikes. What are you listening to on your hikes?
Well, I listen a lot of times when I'm on hikes. I listen to podcasts because that's the time that I don't. When else am I? I would feel weird just sitting in my room listening to a podcast. I mean, but if I'm doing walking or driving or something like that. That's usually when I listen to like podcasts.
Who's your favorite podcast to listen to?
Well, lately I listen to mostly like information type based podcasts. Like Malcolm Gladwell's podcast is pretty good. That's the one I've been listening to a lot lately. And
have you heard the Are You Garbage podcast?
No, what's that?
You got to check that fucking podcast out. I think they would dig you on that. So it's a podcast run by two comedians I think it's based out of New York. Hank, I fucking forget the two guys' names. One guy goes by Kippy, Kevin James Ryan. I don't know if you know who that is. And then Hank, I butchered his fucking last name. I'm not gonna look it up. But Are You Garbage podcast? They essentially like you would go on there and they give you an array of questions and they're just checking boxes to see if you're fucking garbage or not. It's pretty funny. I think you should really dabble into that because it's they focus solely on comedians, and I think they would you're fucking right in there. I think you, Mitch, fucking all the buddies out there, if they should get you on there. I know Jeremiah Watkins been on there. Tony's been on there. I don't think Jet Ski Johnson's been on there. I don't think so. But yeah, you should check that one out. Are You Garbage podcast? It's pretty
all right. I will. Yeah. And then and the music I've been listening to, I listen to the Grateful Dead. That's usually what I listen to a lot of.
All right, hell yeah. A little Jerry Garcia. How do you feel about John Mayer running the dabbling into that?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the Dead in Company like quite a few times now. I mean, I think he's doing a pretty good job. I mean, I think with that, it's more about the music and the atmosphere and the vibe than an individual player and stuff like that. I think when people get hung up on that sort of stuff, he's not, Jerry Garcia, he's dead. What are you gonna do? But that doesn't mean the music should be dead and the vibe. You know what I mean? So
that's badass. That's cool. Hell yeah. Any more podcasts that you dabble into? Your any more go-tos or anything like that? I've been fucking around with that's Talking Sopranos podcast. I don't know. I've always fucked with that show, and it's been pretty good.
Yeah, I like the Sopranos. I haven't heard of that podcast.
You should check that one out, bud. Because what I've been doing is so they start off on episode 1. It's fucking Michael Imperioli, Christopher.
Oh no shit.
And what's his name? Steve Sharippa, fucking Bobby Bacala. And they go episode 1 and they're gonna go all the way to the fucking end. They usually have one guest, and then they kind of do a live read, not necessarily live read, but they read the script and read the storyboards, and they just talk the shit and say what the fuck is going on. But it's cool to revisit that. I've only seen the series once, loved it, but I've been listening to a podcast, and then that afternoon I'll go and watch the fucking episode just to check it out. You should, if you dig the Sopranos in general, you should try and give it another run because they got that prequel movie coming out next year.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's right.
That's gonna be pretty badass.
I bet.
But I cut you off. You were gonna dive into a few more podcasts, I think.
Oh shit! I don't know. I mean, I always loved when it came to the comedy podcast. I always was. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Doug Loves Movies I was always a big fan of that. I was on that a couple of times. I don't know if you know Doug Benson and.
I've smoked with him in fucking South by Southwest. Yeah, that's badass.
I would do this show getting Doug with high before. Yeah. And the one time I was crazy fucking baked. I mean, so fucking baked. And luckily my friend came and watched. So he was like, he kind of like guided me. And I was like, it's like in Culver City. And I was like, man, let's go to I need something to eat. And got there's this fried chicken place called Honey Kettle Fried Chicken. That shit's real good.
Oh shit!
And I was just in there trying to fucking navigate ordering. It was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
And then I got a call from my commercial agent that I had an audition for a commercial. It was like a callback for this commercial, and I was so crazy baked, and I had to go do this callback. And I was I'm just not like a guy that some people just in the world operate and being high all the time, and that's their thing. That's fine. For me, it's it's like out of a fucking movie. Like I'm like, I can't. I just need to hide from the fucking world. I can't operate. It was a fucking nightmare. And then I was on another time. It was like a porn star. She was pretty hot. But I made sure I didn't get as baked that time. Like I was. The other times I did, I went in there. I was just like, I'm gonna show Doug that I can smoke all the weed, even though that's not my thing.
What I would say one podcast what really got me into this whole fucking thing is Joey Diaz and fucking the church. Do you have any experience with that guy there?
I mean, I opened for him years ago in like Lexington, and I had no idea. Like, I didn't really know anything about. I knew he was like a guy that played like a mobster in movies. That's all I knew, you know. And I remember watching him going up there, and I was like, man, this guy says some outrageous shit.
Yeah,
but he was a real nice guy. I mean, I remember when I was like, this guy's he's outrageous, but he's a nice guy.
He pushes the envelope. He does, but he makes you think. I was just thinking also, buddy, you should try and get on that show, Hot Ones, the chicken wing show. I think that would be pretty fucking funny too. But that's kind of fucking taken off, and they're doing other shows. But if you could get on Hot Ones, god damn, that would be it.
You got to get in on the ground floor with these things. That's why I'm doing your podcast right now, buddy. You got to take off, huh? Hell yeah. I'll come back anytime.
Well, shit, man. Thanks for the question about the guitarists. That's one we've never had. No one's ever asked me that specifically. I've never. So I really dig that one. I like that one a whole lot. Do you play any instruments?
No, I wish. It would be a lot cooler if I did. But
oh shit. Fuck. Well, Dave, man, it's been lovely. It's fucking going on 8:30 over here in Texas, right. Bud. What time y'all got over there? What is it? Fucking 6:30. 6:30. You got the fucking night ahead of you, bud. What are you gonna get into?
Well, maybe I'll eat some pizza or something like that.
Yeah. From Gino's? You getting with Gino's Pizza or what?
That's too far to go from where I live.
I
gotcha. I gotta go someplace that's quick.
Yeah.
But there's a pizza place that's by my house. It's pretty good. It's called Delicious Vinyl. It was a record label, Delicious. It was called Delicious Vinyl. They had like Tone Loc and Young MC and shit like that. And now they're like a pizza place, and that's right around the corner. It's fucking pretty cool. They got
what's the logo? Is it a guy
logo with the guy? Yeah, I think maybe he's eating the vinyl. Yeah, and then I think maybe there was like a guy holding a pizza like that and shit. Okay. You know, yeah. So it's some people behind that. They have two places out here. Nice. You know, you go in there and they have like the platinum records up and shit like that. And the Far Side, I think, was another band that was on their label and shit like that. So that's fucking pretty cool.
Hell yeah. Well, I hope you have a good rest of your fucking night. Once again, thank you for being. This was episode number 15 of the Doctor's Orders podcast with the 512 Foot Doctor. But if you're ever in fucking Austin, look us up. We'd love to do this again with you. Thank you so much for checking in. And if you're ever in Austin, we'd love to fucking laugh at you as well. Right. So let us know. Tell the Freaks and Geeks where we can laugh at you in the future if you ever make it on down. So that's it, man. So again, Dave, thank you very much. Have an excellent evening, and we'll tell the Freaks and Geeks about where they can find you again in a little bit. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, man.
Have a good one, man. Thank you.
You too, buddy. All right, now I got to do that awkward thing where I
hold
hit
on.
The leave button.
Let me see. Well, Freaks and Geeks, that's all she wrote. Once again, I want to thank my guest, Dave Waite, for checking in with us via Zoom and just giving us some tremendous stories, some fucking great laugh opportunities, some just excellent experience from his side of the fucking coin out there in Kentucky, hitting it up out in Cincy, and also just fucking coming out to LA and just fucking wreaking havoc and fucking making people laugh and really honing his craft and getting out there and doing what he does best. So, Dave, thank you very much. Freaks and Geeks, make sure you go follow Dave on IG, on the Instagram, Dave Waite Comedy. That's also the DaveWaiteComedy.org. Remember to check him out on iTunes and Amazon, and also hit up those shows that he was mentioning, the Epic Show, and also that show on, what did he say? Sci-Fi, the movie show. So dude, check those out. But you'll find all of his information on Dave Waite Comedy on IG, and also DaveWaiteComedy.org. All right, Freaks and Geeks. Lastly, remember to support the sponsor of the podcast. Remember, that's Greenbelt Botanicals. They will provide and fulfill all of your CBD needs out there. Whether you need something to smoke, whether you need an edible, whether you need a bath bomb, whether you need a gift for the upcoming holiday for that freak or geek in your life, hit up Greenbelt Botanicals and use the Freaks and Geeks promo code, all caps FOOTDR15, to get 15% off at checkout, either in-store or online at Greenbelt Botanicals. Again, Freaks and Geeks, support the sponsor because they support the podcast. Well, here they are, the closing credits. Freaks and Geeks, thank you so much for listening. And remember, new episodes are released every Wednesday on all podcast platforms out there. So whichever one you cater to and whichever one you get down with the most, please subscribe to the Doctor's Orders podcast on your preferred podcast platform. Also, while you're subscribing, make sure that you drop us a rate and even drop us a little comment. It really helps us out, helps the podcast out. Again, it's the doctor doing all the fucking legroom. The doctor doing all the editing, the doctor doing all the booking, the doctor performing all the questions, the doctor just really setting it out, and again, swinging for the fucking 400 section, trying to hit it over the fucking wall into the Allegheny River for every fucking episode that we crank out for the Freaks and Geeks. And we are going to continue into finish off 2020 and head into 2021 and do more collaborations with Greenbelt Botanicals and more collaborations in store at the Greenbelt Botanicals green room space, and just really try and get a whole lot of interesting guests coming up here on the Doctor's Orders podcast with the 512 Foot Doctor. Also, remember, follow me on the Instagram. Follow me on IG at the 512 Foot Doctor. That's THA 512 FOOTDR. And also, please follow the podcast Instagram at THA the Doctor's Orders Podcast, at THA 512 FOOT. The Doctor's Orders Podcast. THA DRS ORDERS PODCAST. There you go. Almost fucked it up, but I came through and knocked it out. So, lastly, remember, the Doctor's Orders podcast is a Life or Death Studios production. Freaks and Geeks, until next time, we'll see you on the next one. Don't be late.